I'm having a nightmare with internet today. My internet connection is at an all-time low on my PC, and I think it's even low on my iPad today, so I'm hoping that you can actually see me today and that my words match and everything. So I'm a little bit out of sync. I was all prepared. I had all my cameras set up and I was all relaxed, and then everything went technology crazy. And it's really warm in my office right now, so I'm going to open the window. So I apologise for any loud sounds from outside, which could include swearing from my neighbours. So I'm going to have some air and birds. So I'm going to take a breath because I'm not used to looking through my iPad, and the camera is sort of this side and it's tiny, so if my eyes go this way, I'm not trying to not give you eye contact, I'm just not used to this device. Okay, well, I've been up since 4:44 a.m. I've been up around 6 hours now, and I'm absolutely amazed that I'm awake. But I did wake up really energized, so I thought I may as well get up. So, and I'm hoping you can hear me because you're quite a distance and I can't see any comments whatsoever, so I'm keeping everything crossed. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about projection. I've been thinking about this a little bit over the last couple of days. A long time ago, I do a little bit now, but for a long time I projected quite a lot. I was very much projecting how I felt about myself and to other people. I'm going to shut the window because we have some very loud magpies outside. If this video doesn't work, I don't really care. You're going to get amusement out of it. So it seems the magpies are projecting their loudness on me, and all my inner loudness is being projected. I think I've lost the plot today, so if this is completely incoherent, it's just one of those days, and I think we all have days like this. You know, we have the plans and ideas, and then it all sort of turns to crap in a way. But this is humanity, this is being human, isn't it, really? We all have these experiences. So where was I? Yes, okay. I think I projected on people a lot when I was younger, but I didn't know it was projection. And then when I started my spiritual path, I projected onto spiritual teachers also. I had in my mind that these people that were teaching me, you know, it could be writers, authors, it could be speakers, it could be local teachers, that they had all the answers because I didn't feel good enough inside. I didn't feel that I had value, and I didn't feel that I had worth. And I had very low self-esteem, so I projected how I felt onto other people, and I put them on pedestals in the beginning. I believed that the teachers were better than me, that they had more knowledge than me, more wisdom than me. And it went on for quite a long time, and until I started to realise that they were imperfect, that they were human, and I took them off their pedestals. That tended to be when things went downhill for me with my relationship with those teachers. Because I think sometimes there is a bit of a relationship between teacher and student that can be a bit toxic, and because of my dependency and people-pleasing ways, I developed relationships in a kind of toxic way with teachers. Now, I didn't just do this with teachers now. I realise I also have done it with relationships a lot. We can project onto other people what we feel we are lacking in some way. So I would project onto maybe friends, it could be potential partners, and I'd see them as beautiful, I'd see them as attractive, and I just think, wow, they're amazing. But I didn't recognize at the time that I was all of these feelings and experiences too. And I was reading a bit on Osho today, and he mentioned about how, for example, if we see someone that we're really attracted to, we project this ideal onto them. And many of us have an ideal in our minds, be it from brainwashing or patterns or conditioning that we've had growing up. We've got this idea of what the perfect person is, and we project it onto that person, and then we maybe get into a relationship with them, and everything's all beautiful in the beginning. It's that magic at the beginning of a relationship, and then it all changes because we start to see each other's flaws, and that ideal is appearing to no longer be there. What happens is we tend to see people outside of ourselves, and they tick some of the boxes that we see as an ideal human being, but they may not tick all of the boxes. And we put our energy out there to them, but not recognizing that we cannot see them as that unless it's inside of us. It's like, for example, if I was homosexual and I liked women, I could see a woman and think, wow, she's the best thing since sliced bread. And yet somebody who's not homosexual thinks, I don't see anything, I'm not feeling anything, I'm not seeing that at all. So we have to ask ourselves, is what we're projecting onto others, is it in that person, or is it in our mind? Is it an illusion? And I think that that's true. I think everything's an illusion in a sense, that this entire world cannot exist without us projecting onto it what we see. So what would happen if we actually dropped all of our projections? What do you think would happen if you didn't have these ideals or this ideas of what people are like? For example, you might see me and think, you know, vibrant or kind or introverted or compassionate or whatever. But when you see me, are you really seeing me? Because most of us have filters. We're really conditioned because of our childhood, and we only see a certain level of reality. We can't see the fullness of what's really happening out there. And this is why we get so bogged down by mental health issues. We believe what we see in other people, we compare to other people, but what we're seeing is only a small fraction of who they really are. It's like, for example, you know, my mind's gone. I'm just going to let that go, not even going to try and get that back. But we see light and dark in everybody. And it's like when we project onto people that we really don't like, or we think, I don't like that politician, for example. I really hate that politician. You know, that politician's so angry and aggressive and arrogant and narcissistic. And you may wonder who I'm talking about right now. And you think that person is like that. But the reason they bring up such a reaction inside is because we have certain qualities that they have too. But we may not acknowledge them, we may not allow them to come up, we may simply repress them. But if we look back into our lives, we've probably done something similar. I think I've said on recent videos, if we see someone as critical or arrogant or any of those sort of things, how often are we arrogant or critical of ourselves? What's going on inside of our minds? What are we doing daily? And what we're doing daily inside of our minds, if it's not owned and accepted and embraced, it's then pushed out into the world, and we see it in those around us. Now, I'm going through a lot to do with the body right now, and I'm learning about being more positive with my body and to see things that I used to see as flaws as beautiful. And it's starting to really work for me, and I'm seeing bodies out there that I would maybe have judged as ugly or unattractive, and I'm actually looking and seeing the beauty now. And I know that's because I'm starting to see the beauty in my own body. But it's all getting projected out in a different way now. It's reflecting, I suppose, the outer world is starting to reflect what's happening inside of me. And this can happen for everybody. So ask yourself, if you're blaming people in your life really strongly and they really trigger you, what is it in them that is causing these feelings in you? Why are they triggering you so much? Is it possible that you have either thought about doing what they're doing or have done what they're doing? For example, if you don't like somebody because you think that they're cheating on their partners, have you had thoughts about cheating on your partner, or are you cheating on yourself with how you treat who you are? I know it's quite a big subject, projection, and it's not an easy one, and I understand as humans it's very, very easy to project onto other people an ideal. We can do it positively or negatively. So just bear this in mind. Praise other people, but recognize what you're praising in them is inside of you. And when you deeply criticize other people, recognize that what you criticize in them is in you also. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not a child abuser, I'm not a rapist. But if you think about it symbolically, you probably abuse yourself in some way. You probably rape yourself in some way. And that's a horrible thought, I know, to think that we connect to that, but we can't not connect to that. Because if you take away this physical body and all that is left is light, energy, there is no ends or limits to who you are. This office, these walls, they would just come away, they don't exist. You would just be one with everything, so how could you not be everything around you too? And I think it's one of the most difficult things on the spiritual path to actually acknowledge and own up to. And I am guilty of doing all of it. And I am totally not clear on this myself. I still judge and I still project. Just this week, my neighbour across from my window here was being very loud and shouting, and I was calling them all names under the sun. And I've realised recently that loud people are projections of the loudness in me, and I think I'm quite loud today because I'm trying to get my microphone working. And the part of me that's frightened of being loud, the part of me that is really scared of being seen in that way. I was brought up with the idea that children are seen and not heard. So I did that. I quieted myself down and made myself very quiet, and I daren't make a noise. I was taught growing up that if I made a mess or if I made a noise in public or did something like that I was wrong. So I internalized that, and I guess in a way I've held that inside. And so when the world gets really noisy outside, it means I'm not acknowledging this loud, screaming person that inside me that wants to be freed. So I'm hoping sincerely you've managed to watch this video and you can see it, and the beginning of it didn't put you off because I went a bit bonkers with all my technology going wrong. But I think that's all I'm going to say for now, because I'm not sure whether it's working because my internet is so slow today. Maybe because the children are off school still. And that's all, yeah. And I'm stumbling over all my words today, and it's just the way it is. Now, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm actually visiting my family up north from Wednesday onwards. So I'll probably miss next week's live, but I may do a spontaneous one, I may not, when I'm away. and I won't be able to reply to your comments on posts until I return. So if I'm not replying to your comments, know that I'm not ignoring you, but I will get back to you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I've no idea what this looks like or anything, so I'm fingers crossed it worked. Bye.